Carrie Negon, great to have you with us as always this week. Carrie, let's start with you and how you felt, about the loss of Robbie Robertson and Sugarman.
It was, when you think of people like Robbie Robertson, people of that stature, you have this idea that they're going to be there forever. They're so iconic that you're not prepared for the news that they're gone. Their music lives on, but at the same time, their physical presence is not here. And it's like you get so accustomed to hearing them and being there that you just assume that they're going to always be there. And so it was a bit of a shocker to hear that he had passed. But, we all have our end time, but it still always comes as a surprise when it's somebody who's so well known, who's broken through so many barriers and has established himself in his genre.
Negon, what type of legacy do you think Robbie leaves behind?
I think right up there with major musicians in the industry who opened the door for so many others. Redbone comes to mind. During the pandemic, I covered the death of Curtis Shingoose, Jani, who passed away, who was a really iconic musician in Winnipeg. And certainly someone I grew up looking up to and idolizing. We're seeing a time in this period, really the last decade or so, where all of those of our elders who have opened up the doors for those of us to enter into these industries, not just in music, but also in entertainment, in the media, in pop culture. We're seeing that wave of people from the 1970s who really just not only marched, but also sang about those marches, opened up all of those different ways in which the mainstream could hear us. And we're seeing the benefits of that today.
Well, on that note, Carrie, Buffy Sainte-Marie has also announced that she will retire from live performances due to health concerns. Were you surprised by that announcement?
She's the same age as my mother. My mother's 83, and although I'm not surprised that because eventually she's going to have to stop performing, but I've seen her perform and she's so amazing and so energetic that I was kind of thinking she was gonna keep performing, but because she's getting up in age, I'm not surprised that she has announced that she will retire from performing. But it's still a sad day to know that we're not going to have her out there because she's so amazing. I've seen her perform live a couple of times, and it's so inspiring to see somebody like me up there and just captivating an entire audience. And it goes across, it's not just Indigenous people, it's non-Indigenous people, it's anybody that's interested in rock and the type of music she produces and the type of messages she sends out. It's just a really sad day.
Negon, your thoughts on Buffy stepping away from the stage?
If you were to look at the catalog of Buffy Sainte-Marie songs, the dozens and dozens upon dozens of songs that she's written over the years, you would see a living embodiment, a living history of Indigenous activism, Indigenous women, and then most of all, the struggles that we have put up with for since really the 1960s, 1970s. I mean, Buffy Sainte-Marie was right on there with the Tonight Show at the Academy Awards, in the American Music Awards. I mean, these major platforms that then made these large steps into opening up the mainstream into seeing Indigenous perspectives, but not just those perspectives, but the violence that we had been experiencing. And so it's a good reminder for all of us that it's not just about those who are out marching on the streets, but also those who are writing the songs and writing the stories, because both need to take place in order for us to have a living legacy and living history in our nations.
And a living legend she is. Negon, Carrie, we'll leave it there, but appreciate you both taking your time this week.
Thank you.
You betcha.